I want to take some time to talk about setting up an assignment in Canvas. I am here just on a blank assignment. Of course, you have your rich content editor up here at the top. I want to scroll down though and spend some time looking at all of these options down through here. So we'll start at the top and work our way down. The first one obviously is points. How many points do you want the assignment to be worth? The next option here is assignment groups. This is an option that you have to group assignments, kind of like organizing them for you as the teacher. If you want to create new groups, maybe you want to group all of your quarter one assignments or semester one assignments so they're organized a little differently. Maybe you want to organize them by, these are all the assignments that go with chapter 1, chapter 2, unit 1, unit 2. You have that organizational tool. You don't have to use it. You can just leave it default on assignments and it'll just be one group of all of your assignments. The next one down is display grade as. Default will be points, but you have some options if you want them to be displayed in a different way. This little checkbox here is pretty self-explanatory. Do not count this assignment towards the final grade. If you just want to put it out there, maybe so all the kids get a copy of it, maybe so you can just get feedback, but you don't want the score to count towards the final grade, obviously this is where you would check that box. The next box we come to is submission type. This one's kind of lengthy. First of all, the default one is text entry. This would be putting an assignment out there for students and they would get a text box to just type their answer back to you in. It's not like a discussion. It's not like they can see each other's responses. It's just you would put something in the rich content editor, maybe a video, and you just want a text response from them. Maybe you're posing a question that you're going to grade. It's basically just a text box. Website URL option would be if they are to submit a link to something. This would be an option that you could use for submitting a Google Doc or Google Slides. Since it doesn't run through Google, if you go with this option to have them submit maybe a research paper or something, they would still need to make sure that the share settings on their Google Doc are set so that anybody can view it. Maybe it's a Seesaw activity. You could have the kids submit a Seesaw link to their activity here, or maybe it's a Google site that they've created as a project. You could do that here too. Media recordings. Canvas has a built-in media recording, like a video recording. Think kind of like Canvas brand of Flipgrid. You could check this box and it would prompt them to record a video recording of themselves explaining the answer to their question or to the question or to the assignment you have there. File upload would be if it's something that they have downloaded onto their device that they are re-uploading. Most of the time, this isn't going to take place because usually if you do it that way, you'd have them submit it through Google Drive somehow. But this would be if there is a file that they have downloaded onto their device that they would upload. Think about when you attach things in different places and you click on that little paperclip and you upload things from your computer. That's what's happening here. That's online submission type. We've got a drop-down option here. If you're putting in an assignment and you want no online submission, but maybe you're using this assignment here in Canvas, the rich content editor, as a placeholder for an assignment in a module, or just posting the directions out there for the students in Canvas, but they'll be turning something physically into you. Think of like a project or paper pencil thing. You have a no submission option. So you still have the opportunity to put it in as points to give them directions, but then they would physically hand you something. So you might use the no submission option there. On paper and no submission are very similar. So again, you could just put that, it would just label it as on paper, kind of as a reminder to you and the student that the directions are here on Canvas, but they will be physically handing you in paper. The final option here is external tool. You're going to hear this throughout your Canvas training, external tool or LTI. This would be all of our digital tools. So when I change this to external tool and then I click find, I'm going to get a list. So this is where you'll see things like Book Creator, Edpuzzle, Flipgrid. There's a couple of Google options here. The one that you're probably going to pay attention to the most is Google Assignments. Here's Kami. And as other ones get added, they will be added here. Now, there will be a separate video for each one of these. So how do you do a Kami? How do you do a Google assignment? Flipgrid, Edpuzzle, and Book Creator. They will be different videos for those, but this is kind of where you would go to find those. That's what external tool there means. As I move on down, I have the option to allow my students to have multiple submissions. It's default to unlimited. You can change that to limited and then put in the number of attempts. So if you want to give them multiple attempts, or if you want to restrict it to just one. Here is the important button if you want the assignment to be pushed over to PowerSchool. Make sure this is on. I believe it's on as default. It was for me here. So this would include the assignment's grade when syncing to PowerSchool, the student information system. So have that. If it's an assignment that you don't want in PowerSchool, you can always uncheck that box. The last option you have down here is assign. This is a feature that's very similar, you'll be familiar with from Google Classroom, where default it goes to everybody, but you can take out everybody and just put in specific students. If you want just a specific group of students or one student to have an alternate assignment or something like that, you can do that. You can also enter in the due date for it and even make it available from certain times. So if I do due date, I get my calendar here and the time that I want it down here, and then I can even make it available so they don't even see it until starting on a specific date and time and closes at a specific date and time. When you are finished with that, you have, as always with everything else, have your two options down here. You can save, which just allows you to see it. It is not published to students yet, or you can save and publish to students so that it goes straight to students as soon as you hit that. This was just a quick run through of what these different boxes mean down through here. Look for other videos on specifics, like I said, external tools and things like that.